Hi, I'm Jen. I'm an author and I hate Olaf. Anyway, hi, I'm Jen. I have 3 sisters, 2 cats, 1 set of twins, and I love writing. I love used books. I love new recipes. I love good office supplies. I love learning about gardening, but I'm honestly horrible at it. Everything I've ever planted has died, except the pumpkins that I accidentally planted in my front yard. And Halloween and Valentine's Day together, pretty much my entire aesthetic. I live across the street from a volunteer fire department. Here are 5 facts about me. Number 1, I met my husband when we were 11. We were in middle school together. We had the same bus stop. It was in my front yard. It's a long story. No, we have not been dating that long. It's part of why I love middle school so much. Number 2, I'm passionate about social justice and animal welfare. Number 3, I unironically love Riverdale. I have loved Archie's since I was a kid, and yes, I know Riverdale and Archie's have pretty much nothing in common except for character names, and I don't care. I love it. Spoiler alert, Archie gets attacked by a grizzly bear. There is nothing funnier on TV right now. It's the best. Number 4, I've never read Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit is one of my favorite books. And number 5, I used to be a stage manager. I love theater. That's it. So I'm going to answer the 13 questions that I found through By the Brook, and she has it tagged as Jenna the Dark One's original tag, but neither Jenna nor Wolfshot Publishing's videos are available, so I'm going to credit Brooke. So the first question is, how did you find out about AuthorTube? I found it through Natalia Lee's Preptober videos last month when I was looking for a bullet journal spread, actually, to sort of prepare for NaNoWriMo. It is currently November 24th, and I found the AuthorTube community and the AuthorTube Newbie Tag, and I really liked that and had already been wanting to get into making YouTube videos about my writing journey, and so this is where I'm going to start. I've been working on NaNoWriMo projects for over a decade now, and this is the first year that I'm doing NaNoWriMo with kids. And so it's a very different experience, so I wanted to make sure that I was very prepared for the month coming up. So that's where I started, and then I sort of fell down a rabbit hole and watched a whole bunch of different accounts. I've been watching a lot of Natalia Lee's videos, a lot of Brooke's videos. I've been watching Kate Kavanaugh, and I don't think Rachel Stephen is part of the community, but I've been watching a lot of her videos as well. All right, question 2. Hi. One of my babies is in the room with me today, so you may hear some of his little noises in the background. I have twins. They are 11 months old next week, and they're quite wonderful. And I work from home, so I have them around with me and my husband a lot. Question 2, what genres do you write in? So I write young adult, new adult. I really like to play with genre, so this is kind of a hard question to answer. I'm working on a romance novel right now. I've written Western, I've written fantasy and sci-fi, magical realism usually plays into it. I have written a lot of stuff with teenage angst in it, and found families, and I'm a really big fan of fan fiction. So what I don't write is adult contemporary, I don't write inspirational, I don't typically write horror. So I guess that's sort of a do and don't list of genre. So question number 3, what is your preferred tense, POV, and category? So my preferred tense is typically past tense. I usually write with the narrator acting as a character, usually with somewhat of an attitude about whatever story I'm telling. And as far as the point of view, which is where the narrator explanation should go, I waffle between first and third limited. In some of my shorter stories, I have toyed with second person. So sort of like saying you are walking down a hallway, you are making a choice because I like to mess with form. And then category, I sort of already explained a little bit. I tend to write in young adult or new adult, depending on the language that I use and how raunchy the romance scenes get. Question 4. Are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? Having done NaNoWriMo for, I think, 12 years now, I'm very familiar with these 3 words. Plotters are people who tend to think out their book beforehand and have sort of like an outline or a story map before they sit down to begin writing. Pantsers don't do any of that, or maybe they'll do a little bit, like picking a character to write about or a setting, but they don't tend to have their like main plot points thought out. They sort of figure out where they're going as they go. And plantsers are hybrids. They do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have tried all 3. This year, because of the workbook that I downloaded from Natalia, I actually got a lot of plotting done during Preptober, which I had never done before, and I really liked where that's taken me. It's really helped me stay focused and sort of not lose my story as I go. There have been a couple of years where I get like halfway through the month and I have no idea what's happening in my book, so I just like throw in a zombie prom. That doesn't usually work out well for me. So this year I've had a lot more success with plotting things out. Question 5. Are you self-published or yet to be published? And I'm yet to be published. However, I have won first runner-up at Pitch Week at When Words Count Retreat last year, 2018. I have been published online as an online journalist on a huge variety of sites. We can add a link right down at the bottom of the video where you can look at my full portfolio online, because I've been writing for the last 10 years or so. I've also been selected for a writer's retreat in Alaska, where I went in 2017 at Chilitna Wilderness Lodge, and then 2018 I spent the month of January in Iceland, also at a creative retreat. I have a master's degree in theater and a bachelor's in creative writing, and I love to think about entertainment and media in academic ways, sort of like looking at them critically. So I have presented at the International Conference for the Fantastic and the Arts twice in the past, once about musicals and science fiction and once about Doctor Who and Peter Pan. And this coming March, I will be presenting there for the 3rd time. I will be talking about Stranger Things and bodily autonomy. So I've done a lot of writing and I've done a lot of presenting and sharing with the public. I just have not gotten my book published yet. Question number 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? And if you're not published yet, what is your dream publishing house or literary agent? I am currently seeking representation. I've been looking at smaller publishing houses and pretty much any literary agent who's looking for work like mine. But I am looking for someone that I trust to edit my work and work with me moving forward, and who wants to read the stuff that I'm writing. Question number 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So I, as I said, love doing research, and I have been writing online in a journalistic fashion for the last decade. So I'm going to talk a lot about that, a lot about research relating to historical fiction. I'm going to talk about NaNoWriMo again next year, probably Preptober as well. I really enjoyed taking part in that. I am a big proponent of taking a bullet journal and turning it into something like a tool that works for you. So I'll talk a lot about bullet journaling, but sort of making it work for you, not necessarily following the original bullet journaling mode. I will attempt Camp NaNoWriMo, so I'll probably do that again. The biggest thing that I wanted to start a YouTube about is balancing my writing life with my new life as a mom, which I don't see a lot of people doing on YouTube, so I sort of wanted to contribute that. I'm in a bit of a special position from that particular topic because I have twins, because one of them has a heart condition, and because I work from home. So I'm balancing working life in my home with being a stay-at-home mom, even though I'm working from home. So I'm kind of balancing those two parts of my life all the time. And then I will also talk about the freelancing lifestyle, because I do that in addition to my fiction writing. And then fandom stuff. I love Disney. I love Harry Potter. I love Doctor Who. I love Marvel. I love Stranger Things. I love, love, love Captain America. Love him. Question 8. When did you start writing? The real answer to this is kindergarten. I started quote-unquote seriously writing when I was in middle school. I was writing friend fiction. So my friends and I would do things like join a Saiyan Academy or be in Japan writing comic books together and snowboarding. And that was a lot of fun. I had a friend who was a really talented artist, and she would draw a lot of like manga stuff, and I would write the scripts for it. So that was when I seriously started writing, like with more storytelling and things like that. And then I went to undergrad for creative writing, and I've been taking myself seriously as an author probably for about 5 or 6 years, trying to get my books finished and published, and considering that my full-time job as my son sucks on his fingers in the background. Question 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? I wrote a story for my reading teacher when I was like 5 or 6 years old. It was called The Magic Book. I used googly eyes and the character Tinkerbell showed up. It was fantastic. But the first like quote unquote book that I ever completed was the first book in what I was calling the Rose Planet series, where my best friend Amber and I were princesses, and our dude friends were all princes. And there was like a fallen angel plot line, and there was a lot going on. We wrote it in glitter pen and had it in like a binder, and she would illustrate sort of like parts of the chapters. Yeah, that's the first book I ever wrote. And then the Western that I completed a couple of years ago actually is from one of those friend fictions that I wrote a billion years ago. And it's one of the stories that has stuck with me the longest. I've just been rewriting it to the point where none of the middle school stuff is left. Just a few like character traits that I had come up with, and very few plot pieces are still in it. The main character still falls in love with a piano player, and that's pretty much it. Question number 10.
Why the deep sigh?
Gays.
Gay rights. Oh my god, I wasn't filming at all.
Any of that? Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? Well, I do both. But if you want to hear the universe laugh at you, you should tell your twin 11-month-olds that you have a schedule for the day, because that is the saying, obviously, that everyone always says. Or, you know, whatever that saying is. That's my answer to that question. Question 12. Do you type on a computer, on a typewriter, write everything by hand, or use a blend of those, and where do you write in general? I would love to write on typewriters more if they weren't so finicky, and if I had one just readily available. They take up a lot of space, and they are a pain in the ass, but I really love the tactile use of a typewriter. I like that it slows down my thoughts and doesn't let me type as fast, because I'm a very fast typist. And I do handwrite things when I need to sort of disconnect from the internet and stop playing Gardenscapes on my phone. And then where I write is wherever I'm able to. I will write at Starbucks, I will write at the library, I will write here in my wonderful office, I will write on the couch, I will write at the doctor's office waiting to get into an appointment, I will write in the car, I will write at a bar, I will write with a fox, I will write in a box. Question 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? So I have really bad imposter syndrome. So actually feeling like I'm a part of AuthorTube is going to be awesome. It's going to be another little piece of validation in my authory lifestyle. I had a really amazing teacher in undergrad who I was talking to after class and asked her, like, how do you become a writer? Like, how do you get started? And she looked me dead in the eyes and was like, what do you need to prove that you're a writer? Do you need someone to, like, grant you writership? And she just sort of, like, did, like, a knighthood thing over my shoulders and was like, there you go, you're a writer. So I love that. And I always think about that when other people ask me how to get started or how to be a writer, and sort of like giving yourself permission and taking yourself seriously. So I'm sort of doing that. I am hoping to reach out and become part of a bigger community with writers. I love being part of the live write-ins. I love going to write-ins for NaNoWriMo, so I would love to sort of extend that feeling of community and being a part of something bigger to the rest of the year. And that's it. Those are the 13 questions for the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope that you are excited to find out more about me and my writer life and the things that I write. You can click on the subscribe button down below. You can click on the bell, like over here, I think it is. And you can let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. Thanks. Have a good day.
Are you always this articulate?
Hercules, my